Hello and welcome to our mini lesson on changing words into symbols. This is something that you are going to use throughout the semester when you're working with word problems, and it's really important to know when you need to change a word into a symbol. So we're going to practice a couple of problems, and it is going to be fairly short, but we're going to go over a couple different questions. The first one is question number 9 on page 16 or 17. It says a rectangle has width of 6 units and length x units. Its area is question mark in square units. So we're trying to find what the area of this rectangle is, knowing its width and its length. Okay, let's write down the information that we have. Width is equal to 6. Length is equal to x units, and of course units. Now when we are asked for the area, what is the formula for an area of a rectangle? Does anybody know that? The area of a rectangle is equal to the length times the width. Alright, that's usually written just as area equals length times width, or LW. Okay, so if we know that the length is x and the width is 6, the way that we would write that is the area is equal to 6x. Oh, that should be a capital A for area. Usually area is represented by a capital A. There we go. And so area is equal to 6x. Alright? That's the way that we would do that. So even though we've been given all our information in a word problem, we can convert it into an equation, write down the information that we have, and solve for that equation. Let's look at another one. A conveyor belt moves at n yards per minute. In 10 minutes it moves how many yards? Okay, if it moves at n yards per minute, okay, in 10 minutes, how many yards will it move? So it moves n yards in 1 minute. How many will it move in 10? Okay, so when you look at that, I want you to think about it. If a conveyor belt, if it's moving on a belt, and it moves n yards in 1 minute, in 10 minutes it will move 10 times that. Alright? Does that make sense? So in 10 minutes it would move 10 times n number of yards. Okay? Not yards per minute, because we're getting rid of the minutes. Alright? It would move 10 times n yards, okay, in 10 minutes. How many would it move in 5 minutes? Think about that one. How many would it move in 5 minutes? It would move 5 times n yards. Alright? And how many yards would it move in 30 seconds? 30 seconds is 1/2 of a minute, so you can write this as 1/2 n yards, or 0.5 n yards, however you prefer. 1/2 is equal to 0.5, so you can write this in either way. Alright? Does that make sense? Each time we're just saying if it moves n yards in 1 minute, then in 10 minutes it moves 10 times n yards. In 5 minutes it would move 5 times n yards, and in 30 seconds it would move 1/2 times n yards. Alright? Let's look at a little bit more complicated question. Adam is 9 inches shorter than Jeff. If Jeff's height is j, then Adam's height is what? In inches. Okay, again we're going to write down the information that we have. Jeff is equal to j, and Adam is 9 inches shorter than J. All right. So how are we going to write Adam's height in inches? Okay. We know that Jeff is J. So Adam will be J what in relationship to J? J is Jeff's height. Adam is 9 inches shorter than Jeff. So if you take Jeff and you subtract 9, that is equal to Adam's height. Okay, does that make sense? Adam's height is equal to Jeff's height minus 9. All right. You could also say Adam's height plus 9 is equal to Jeff's height. Okay, because Adam's height and the 9 inches taller would give you what Jeff's height is. So you could say Adam's height plus 9, or you could say Jeff's height minus 9. Either way is fine for this question. And this is our final question of the mini lesson. Dick drove for 8 hours at 85 kilometers per hour. How far did he go? All right. He drove for 8 hours at 85 kilometers per hour. How far did he go? Now I know seeing kilometers per hour may kind of trip people up a little bit, but it's something you're going to get used to seeing, because we're going to see it throughout the semester. So if he drives for H, however many hours that is, he's going 85 kilometers each hour. How far did he go? Well, if it were 1 hour and he were driving at 85 kilometers per hour, we would know he went 85 kilometers. If it were 2 hours, it'd be 2 times 85. If it were 3 hours, it'd be 3 times 85. So he drove for H number of hours. So whatever that is, he went H times 85. Okay? Or we would write that as 85H. That's how many kilometers he went. Let me write that in there. Kilometers. Okay, so he went 85H kilometers. That's the number of kilometers that he went. Okay? Each hour he was going 85, so you just multiply that times the number of hours he went, and that will tell you how far he went. And that's the type of question you're going to see in this quiz and also in the textbook questions. So I hope that this has been helpful. If you have any questions, make sure to attend the office hours this week, and good luck on your quiz.